lecture, essentially, we started with first order linear differential equation, and uh, basically the function which we obtain, this one is the integrating factor for the linear differential equation of first order, and then we started with exact differential equation. To identify whether the given differential equation is exact or not, we need to check this condition. Del m by del y is equals to del n by del x. If this condition is satisfied, then the given differential equation is exact, and if it is exact, we need to find the function f for which the given equation is df equals to 0. So that means del f by del x is m, del f by del y is n, and we will find such function by integrating f with respect to one variable and differentiating with respect to other variable. And then whatever function f we get, f equals to constant is the solution of the given differential equation. So that is regarding exact differential equation. Now suppose the given differential equation is not exact. So then we need to convert it into exact differential equation if it is possible. So that is the notion of exact differential equation. That is the notion of integrating function, integrating factor. So we discussed two methods. Let us start with that. So there are actually four methods to find integrating factors. Let us first write down all these four methods. Four types of there are four types of integrating factors. So first type is a function of x. So what do we mean by that is this one. So given differential equation is m dx plus n dy is equals to 0, where m and n are functions of two variables. And for that differential equation, if we find this quotient, which is 1 upon n del m by del y minus del n by del x, if this quantity 1 upon n del m by del y minus del n by del x is a function of x. So let us say this function is, since it is a function of x, we assume it is fx, then the integrating factor turns out to be, in this case, is e power integration fx dx is a integrating factor. So this is first method. So in this method, if this is not function of x, that means method 1 we cannot apply. In a similar way, if we find a related quotient, that is, instead of dividing by n, if we divide by m, of the same quantity, and if it turns out to be some function of y, so let us say it is a g of y. The notation we are using is g of y. Then the integrating factor is e power integration minus of gy dy. So this is the second case what we derived from the last lecture. Now suppose these both cases are not working. That means the first quantity is not a function of x, and so therefore we cannot apply first method. The second function is not a function of y, so then we'll go for the third method. So third method is that if m and n of the given differential equation are homogeneous functions of same degree. So Dr. Patel has mentioned how to identify the given function is homogeneous or not and how to find its degree. So if these both functions m and n are homogeneous of the same degree, and another condition is that if the function m times x plus the function n times y is a non-zero function. So this function m and n are functions of two variables x and y. So this total quantity, if as a function of xy, it is a non-zero function. So then in this case, the integrating factor will be 1 divided by mx plus ny. So we will see examples later on for the these different four cases. But first of all, let us write down all the four conditions. So in the fourth case, if the given differential equation so that is m dx plus n dy is equal to 0 is of some special form, is of the form f1. So f1 is some function of xy times x dy plus so let me write down it in a new line. So if this given differential equation is of the form f1 x comma y times x dy plus some another function of xy times y dx is equal to 0. What do we mean by this? This means from m we can take y common, and from n function if we can take x common, then in this case the we get the quantity. Instead of addition we'll take subtraction. So if mx minus ny is non-zero, right, then the integrating factor is 1 divided by mx minus ny. And there is just remark that in the third case, so what is the third case? Third case is that mx plus ny is not identically zero function. So that means if mx plus ny is 0, then what to do? So in this case, we find the integrating factor from, we will try hit and error method. Yes, any doubt?
So could you please roll up once?
Yeah, just a minute. Let me write down this statement. I will explain again. We find the integrating factor from this collection. Okay, so let me just show. Yeah. So you want to see the third method?
Sir, please scroll up to first point.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So this is essentially the four methods. Now let us see how we can apply these methods. So let us once again revise the last lecture as well as today lecture. So we are given a differential equation. All these methods we are discussing are for the first order differential equation only, right? Because we are studying only first order differential equation so far. So we have studied several methods to solve first order differential equation. One method which Dr. Patel mentioned was a separable variable method. Then we discussed linear differential, first order linear differential equation method. This method now we are discussing is the next method is exact differential equation. So whether differential equation is exact or not. If it is exact, this part will be zero, right? So suppose the differential equation is not exact differential equation. So we have tried all these methods, linear differential equation, separable variable, exact, all of them are not working. Then we'll go for the integrating factor method. And in integrating factor method, we will check first method. So if this quantity we will find which is if it is a function of x, then only we will apply first method. Otherwise, we cannot apply first method. So we'll go, if first method is not applicable, we'll go for the second method in which this part is common, right? That we already found here also in the first method. But we'll divide by m here, and that should be the function of y. If it is function of y, we'll get the integrating factor to be this function. If it is not function of y, then second method will not be applicable. We will go check the third or fourth method. Right. So that is the way of applying all these methods for the first order differential equation. So let us first start with some examples so that we can have some idea. So find the general solution of the equation xy minus 1 times dx plus x square minus xy dy is equal to 0, where values of x we are taking to be positive. So we want to solve this differential equation. So let us start with the exact differential equation thing, because for the we want to see whether in this particular example we can apply any of the integrating factor method or not. So as I mentioned earlier, we will start with the condition of the exact differential equation. That means we need to first find del m by del y. So yeah, so first of all, let us write down what is m and n. So here m is the coefficient of dx, that is xy minus 1. N is the coefficient of dy, that is x square minus xy. So therefore, let us find out the partial derivatives. So partial derivative of m with respect to y will be x, and partial derivative of n with respect to x will be, so derivative of x square is 2x, and the second term derivative with respect to x is minus 1. So we have found this quantity del m by del y and del n by del x. If this quantity is same, it is an exact differential equation. But we know that it is not same, right? So del m by del y is not equal to del n by del x for all value of x and y. So that implies even differential equation is not exact. So now we will need to see whether we can apply the integrating factor method. So for integrating factor method, first we will find out this difference of these quantities. So what is del m by del y minus del n by del x? So that is x minus 2x minus y. So what is this? This is minus x plus y, right? So this quantity we have found. Now the question is that we know m and n. So in the first method, we need to divide this quantity by n, and if it is a function of x, we can apply first method. If we divide this quantity minus x plus y by m, and if it is a function of y, then we will apply the second method. Yeah, so if we divide this by m, let us say, then what we'll get minus x plus y divided by xy minus 1, right? If we divide by m, and then we'll see that it is not a function of y. Right? If this is a function, after dividing, if it is a function of only y variable, then we can apply second method. But that is not happening here. So that means the second method, dividing by m, we cannot apply here. Right? What I found is basically I found this quantity. Right? So let us write down, therefore second method is not applicable. So just this is a remark. You don't need to write this every time. Just I wanted to explain this. So what we'll do, we'll check the first method now. The first method says that we need to divide it by the function n, and if this turns out to be the function of x, then we will get the integrating factor e power integration fx. So what is n here? N here is x square minus xy. So let us divide by x square minus xy, and this we already found here, that is x minus x plus y. So we can see that the denominator is x square minus xy, that is x times x minus y. So if we divide x minus y from the numerator and denominator, essentially what we get is minus 1 upon x, right? So what we got is we found this quantity, just a minute, yeah, we found this quantity which turns out to be the function of only one variable, x variable. So that is the first method. If we find this quantity, if it is a function of only one variable, we can call that as a function of x. So that we fx is minus 1 by x. So therefore integrating factor by the first method is e power integration fx dx, right? And that is nothing but e power integration minus 1 by x dx, that is e power minus log mod x. But since we are taking x to be positive, that is given in the example, this mod x is nothing but x itself. So finally it turns out to be that the integrating factor is 1 by x, right? And then we know that what is the meaning of integrating factor. Integrating factor means if you multiply given differential equation by this function, the new equation becomes exact. So therefore multiplying one equation, differential equation, by the integrating factor 1 upon x, what we get is we get a new differential equation. So what was the first differential equation? The given differential equation was xy minus 1 times dx plus x square minus xy dy is equals to 0. So if we multiply by 1 by x, we get y minus 1 by x dx plus x minus y dy is equals to 0. So let us write down that the new differential equation, that is y minus 1 by x dx plus x minus y dy is equals to 0. So now it is a differential equation. Now we have another m and n. We will call it m dash and n dash. Right? So it is easy to check that del m dash by del y is equal to 1, and that is equal to del n dash by del x. So therefore, the new differential equation is exact differential equation. Right? This is just to observe that. Otherwise, we anyway know, because 1 upon x is integrating factor. This is anyway exact differential equation. Yeah, so now this is the exact differential equation. Then how to solve this differential equation? So the method we already know. If we have a exact differential equation, we will compare m with fx and n with fy, and then we find the function f. Yeah, so we'll use that notation. So let us change this notation little bit. So let us call this function g. Right, this is just a notation. Yeah, so since this differential equation is exact, we need to find the solution. We need to find fxy, which is a continuously differential function 2 times, such that our fx is m. So here m is m dash, that is y minus 1 by x, and fy is coefficient of dy, that is n dash, that is x minus y. Right. So now we know fx and fy, so we need to find f. So what we'll do, yeah, can anyone recall from previous lecture how to find f? We need to integrate fx, right? So integrating fx with respect to x variable. So it is like we have a derivative of a function f. To get the original function, we need to integrate. What we get is integration of fx is f of xy. We are integrating this fx equals to y minus 1 by x. So integration of y with respect to x is y times x minus log x plus constant. So now we are integrating fx, that means constant will be function of y, right? And this is the solution, but we don't know what is phi. So we need to evaluate phi, and therefore we will use the second equation. So for that, we will first differentiate this f function with respect to y. So we'll get fy is equals to x plus phi dash y, because derivative of log x with respect to y is 0, right? So finally what we get, we know what fy is x minus y. So this equals to x minus y, and that means phi dash y is minus 1. So phi is a one variable function, its derivative is minus y. So that means phi y must be minus y square by 2 plus constant. Okay. So finally, what is f of xy? F of xy is yx minus log x plus phi x. That is this function. And therefore, the general solution of the given differential equation is fxy is equals to constant. So that will give us another constant. So that is y x minus log x minus y square by 2 is equals to c dash for some constant c dash. Yeah. So this is the solution which we obtain of the given differential equation using the first method. Yeah. So we have seen that in this example, this given differential equation is not exact. So therefore, we have gone for the next case, which is integrating factor. In the integrating factor, the second method is not working, but first method is working. And we found the integrating factor 1 upon x, and then we solved it. So here you can observe that this example can be solved in a much simpler way also. So for example, this given differential equation, if you take x common from the second term, and then you can guess that we can divide it by 1 by x, and then you will get this equation directly, and then you can convert y dx plus x dy as a differential of x into y, and then you can integrate and find the solution. So that is another method, but in that method also you are essentially using the integrating factor. You are actually guessing 1 upon x function is a integrating factor directly, and multiplying by 1 upon x, the given equation becomes exact differential equation, and you are integrating it. So you, in this example it is easy because the function turns out to be 1 by x, but in every example it integrating factor which is coming from method 1 may not be as simple as 1 upon x function. So therefore we need to learn these methods of the integrating factor. Okay, so let me give one example as an exercise, because in all these 4 methods I will not be able to cover it within one lecture. So some of the example I am giving as a practice question. So suppose you are given this differential equation. Solve this differential equation by the method of integrating factors. Right, so particularly try the second method, so where you are getting the function of y, right, and try to solve this problem. Okay, so let us take one more example. So we need to solve the differential equation x square y minus 2x y square dx minus x cubed minus 3x square y dy is equals to 0. We want to solve this differential equation. So to solve this differential equation, what we'll do first, we'll first find m and n, right? So we'll first check whether we can apply the exact differential equation method or not. So m here is x square y minus 2xy square. Then function comes out to be minus x cubed plus 3x square y, right? So if I do any mistake of plus minus or anything, please let me know. So first thing what we will do is we'll check whether this is a exact or not. So first we'll find out del m by del y, that is x square minus m partial derivative of m with respect to y. So that is del m by del y is x square minus 4xy, right? And what is del n by del x? Del n by del x is minus 3x square plus 6xy. Difference is del m by del y minus del n by del x. We are not same, so that means we are not able to find the method of it is not exact differential equation. On the other hand, the difference is minus 3x square plus 6xy. So that is basically 4x square minus 10xy. Now you can see that this quantity del m by del y minus del n by del x, if we divide it by m, then it is not a function of y, right? So that means the second method we cannot apply. Second method of finding integrating factor we cannot apply, because if we divide this quantity del m by del y minus del n by del x by m function, then m function is x square y minus 2xy square, right? So if I divide 4x square minus 10xy by x square y minus 2xy square, the final function is not a function of single variable, it is function of x and y both. So that means second method is not applicable. Same way, if I divide this by n, so let me write down that if there is any confusion. So 1 upon m del m by del y minus del n by del x is equals to 4x square minus 10xy divided by x square y minus 2xy square, right? Similarly, 1 upon n times del m by del y minus del n by del x is equals to 4x square minus 10xy divided by the n function. This is minus x cube plus 3x square y. So these both functions are two variable functions. They are not single variable functions. So therefore, we cannot apply first two methods of finding integrating factor. So now what we'll do, we'll go for the third method. So what is the third method? Third method is that, let us go to that. The third method is that whenever the coefficient of dx and coefficient of dy are homogeneous function of the same degree, and this quantity is not identically zero function, then this is the integrating factor. So here in the second example which we are discussing, you can see that these both functions are homogeneous, this one and this one. So what is the degree of these two functions?
3.
3, right? Both the functions are homogeneous. They both the functions have the degree same, which is 3. So therefore, and the second thing is we need to find mx plus ny. If it is not zero, then its inverse is the integrating factor. So note that m and n are homogeneous functions of degree 3. Right? What you said is correct. It is a both the functions are have same degree, this degree 3. So now we'll check mx plus ny. So our m function is actually, just a minute, m function is x square y minus 2xy square times x plus our n function is minus x cube plus 3x square y times y. This quantity is x cube y minus 2x square y square minus x cube y plus 3x square y square. So these two terms will cancel out. Finally, we'll get is x square y square. Mx plus ny is x square y square function, which is not identically zero function. So that means the integrating factor is its inverse. So that is 1 upon mx plus ny, which is equals to 1 upon x square y square. Let us multiply the given differential equation by this integrating factor. We get the new differential equation. So the new differential equation is, when we divide it by this function, the new function will turns out to be 1 upon y minus 2 by x dx minus x by y square minus 3 by y dy is equals to 0. You can check that this function, the differential equation, when we divide by x square y square, we get this equation. So this equation is exact. because we have multiplied with the integrating factor. So in this equation, we can see that this is a m dx plus n dy is equal to 0 type of differential equation. So therefore, our m dash is 1 upon y minus 2 by x. Our n dash is minus x by y square plus 3 by y. Right. So when we integrate m dash with respect to so this is exact. That means our fx is m dash, which is 1 upon y minus 2 by x, and our fy is n dash, which is minus x by y square. So this is again method of solving the exact differential equation. So we want to find the function f which satisfies these two equations. So again, integrating fx with respect to x, we get f of xy is equals to x by y minus 2 times log x. Right. So here also, instead of log, we can assume x and y both are positive. Otherwise, the equation will turn out to be in the terms of mod x and mod y. So I'm just assuming in the beginning itself that we will be taking x and y positive. Okay, so in that case, it will be log x. Otherwise, it will, if we don't assume that, it will come mod x term. And what else we will get is we will get some function of y. Right. Okay. So now we will need to find the function y. That means we will partially differentiate this equation with respect to y. So we will get plus phi dash y. Right. And fy is nothing but n dash, which is minus x by y square plus 3 by y. So that means phi dash y is 3 by y. That will give us the function phi y to be 3 log y. So therefore I have taken y also positive. Plus constant, right? Constant will also come. Okay, so finally, what is the solution? The solution is f of xy is equals to constant. So f of xy is x by y minus 2 log x plus phi function, that is 3 log y, is equals to some constant. So this is implicit solution. So is the general solution of the original equation, of the given equation. Yeah, so this is the third method. So in this example, the third method is working. First and second method is not working. Right? There may be some example in which more than one method also working. There may be, right? Depending on what is the example. So now there is a little bit time. So let me discuss this method. The given differential equation was exact differential equation in which m and n were homogeneous. So suppose we have a differential equation in which m and n are homogeneous, and suppose for such example this quantity is zero function everywhere. In this example it was non-zero function x square y square, but suppose mx plus ny is zero itself. So in that case we cannot have the integrating factor to be 1 upon mx plus ny. So therefore this remark says that we need to try these functions one by one, and among these function we can identify what is the integrating factor, right? So in this, so this is a part of the third case, and the fourth case is whenever we have this type of differential equation, so in which from the m term, that is m term is this one, we can take y common, and from the n term we can take x common, and if this quantity is non-zero, then we have this to be the integrating factor. So let's see if we can cover one more example of the final type, so that will complete this topic. Okay, so example. So given differential equation is solve xy square plus 2x square y cube dx plus x square y minus x cube y square dy is equals to 0. So we need to solve this differential equation. So in this differential equation, if you want to apply the fourth method, it is easy to observe that in the dx term, we can take y common from this term. And from the dy term, we can see that we can take x common. So that means this differential equation is of the form x times y times x y plus 2x square y square dx plus x times xy minus x square y dy is equal to 0, right? So this,
Excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir, is the dx common to both the terms?
pardon, we are saying,
Sir, in question you have written dx along with 2x square y cube only.
2x square y cube, yes. Yeah,
So,
you are right, you are right, you are right. So there is a bracket, yeah, you are right. Yeah, so we can see that this differential equation we have separated as some function times y dx, some function times x dy is equals to 0. So that means our fourth condition is satisfied, right? It is of this form. So now we need to check this is non-zero or not, mx minus ny. So let us see that mx minus ny. So what is m? M is this, the coefficient of dx, n is this function. So mx minus ny is basically x times xy square plus 2x square y cube minus y times x square y minus x cube y square. So if you simplify this, you may check later that this turns out to be 3 times x cube y cube. Right? I'm writing directly, you just verify. So this function is non-zero function, right? It is not zero everywhere. It is zero at some point whenever x and y are zero, but everywhere it is non-zero. What I want to say is it is not identically zero function. So that means the integrating factor in this case will be 1 upon mx minus ny, that is 1 upon 3x cube y3, right? So I'm not solving this whole problem. We already found the integrating factor. You know how to solve it, the remaining part. So complete the solution. Okay, so I think let me stop here.